Alright guys, welcome back to MBS Rides. I know you've seen this car a lot lately, but I'm going to go ahead and do it with this car because it's right here in the middle, it's got the most space. We're going to do a pre-drive checklist, something you should probably look at if you haven't driven your car or done this in a while. It's just a couple things you may not think about, a couple things I always don't think about. And there's times even I go to take a drive in the car and I don't want to because I don't want to do the pre-drive checklist, so I drive the daily driver, which is, good. So with that, we got our hats, we got a couple we're hoping to get shipped out this weekend. I'll reach out to you guys that I haven't yet and get your orders, see what you want to do, and we'll go from there. So that's a little hat update. But for now, let's get this hood popped and I'll show you what we need to check under here. No way. Anyways guys, we've got the hood up. A lot of your checks are going to be done under here. One of the things you can do is look under the car. I would definitely recommend that once we get to the point where we actually start the car. With this, make sure it's not hot, make sure there's not a lot of pressure. I put a lot of body weight on it. Sometimes there'll still be some pressure on here and this thing will pop off and pop you in the face. No one else gets popped in the face. So come in, take a look at it. This is beautiful. This is nice and green and full. So we are good on that. The other problem you can have is when you take this, make sure you put it back on all the way, because if you don't, as soon as you get going and that builds up a little heat and pressure, this thing's going to pop off and blow a big mess all over. Ask me how I know with frostbite over there. Well, that was a hose, but it's the same mess. So, all right, another thing you can do real quick, squeeze the hoses. We'll make sure they're not brittle and stuff. But the main thing you want to check now, oil. Take your stick out, wipe it off. When I do that, I like to look at the color. Stick it back in. Mine smells a little bit. I could just smell it. It wasn't bad. If you smell gas in your oil, you got a problem. Or if it comes out. So we are good. We're not to the add part. We are good. This is good. The oil probably could use a change soon. Old cars tend to run dirty. Check that. If it looks like milky white, you probably got coolant or something in there. Comes out smelling like gas, you got a whole nother list of problems. So we check the coolant, we check that. I'm going to grab my multimeter and show you how to check your battery, so give me just a second. Alright guys, we have the multimeter here, and the reason I want to test this, and I will test it again in a minute, is to check the charging system. So one thing you can do, check your brake fluid. I really don't like this setup. It looks like it's a single pot. I like a dual, that way if one leaks, you'll have another one. Let me kind of show you what I mean. Now let's just go into frostbite. So here you've got two reservoirs, one for the rear, one for the front. If one goes dry, you still have another. On that Mustang, if it goes dry because you leak and bleed all that out and you don't know it, you're screwed. You will not be stopping. You'll be downshifting, trying to get to first, and then probably pulling the old, either that or you could, I guess, hit the emergency brake or throwing it into park early and hearing it go. But I'd rather do that and wreck a transmission than wreck the car. So definitely check this. If need to add a little bit, but you do not want to fill it to the top. Let's just show you here. I'll put this down. Why you do not want to put it to the top. Oh my gosh, he hasn't been off in a while. There we go. The reason why you don't want to put it to the top is because of these. If you fill it all the way to the top, these are freaking huge. Normally they're only to like there. But if you put it to the top, you are not going to be able to push this out without spilling, and this stuff will eat paint. So it looks like frostbite's a little low in the rear. Nothing we can't fix. Make sure you put that back on good and you will be good to go. I'm going to leave that off because I'm going to come back to it. I need to wash my hands real quick or wipe them before I touch my paint. Alright guys, turn this over to volts. I go to 20 because the 12 volt battery is not to exceed that. If it does, you got some problems. Take this. In my unsecured battery, I mean they zip tied the battery cable here. This is terrible. We will get this fixed eventually. Touch that. Take this one, touch here. Are they backwards? Is the positive on that side? I guess it is. I just saw blue. I guess so. If you get a negative, you're going the wrong way. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to matter, I guess. 12.68. Remember that number, because when we start this up, I mean, look at this. Why? It's actually in there pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure how it's held in so good with just zip ties. All right, we got the zip tie holding down. So if you are as lucky as me, make sure your zip ties look good and that they're not cracked and going to let go of the battery. I've seen a battery fall down and kind of weld itself to the header. But this one, these zip ties look good, so I approve. With that, I think now what you want to do, if you haven't checked under it already, I was trying to see, here we go. The Dodge. The Dodge is a good example of something that is probably going to always leak oil. And unfortunately, it's not leaking too bad. That looks mostly like dirt and grass. If you have one of these under it, I like to put it so it's kind of below the radiator and the oil pan. And if you see new drips, that tells you you've got a problem. This car right now, I'm looking under it, I see no new drips. So that's another way to check. One of the other things I would definitely check, especially if you have time or if it's been a really long time, I would check each caliper. Just stick your head under the car, take a look at the caliper. I'll show you. All right guys, if it hasn't been too long and you've recently checked them, I would do a visual inspection of your tires and wheels. And what I mean by wheels, look to see if one of the lug nuts is farther out than the others. If you've got time and it has been a long time, I'd maybe just hurry and put a little check on each of the lug nuts. You just never know, especially certain types of wheels can come loose. Then I would check the tire pressure and the tread. Once you're done with that, clean the glass. It's a simple thing, but it is a huge pain in the butt once you're out on the road and you can't see because your car has sat for a while, it's got a little bit of moisture on it or whatever the case may be, and now you can't see because you're driving into the sun. That's a huge one that I never remember. So buy some Windex, whatever you want to use, glass cleaner. Clean that glass. You'll thank me later when you're heading into the sun and can actually see. So what we want to do now, we're going to do one thing that I think a lot of people do not check. And this is just going to be a quick check. We're checking our brake lights. I had an incident the other day in the Dodge. Thanks Dodge, that's why I only own one of them. I was driving home. I guess both my rear bulbs burned out at some point from the time before I checked it to then, and I'm ready to turn onto my street, which thank God I hadn't got up to a really high speed. I'm ready to turn on my street, I've got my signal on, and I see this lady come flying past me, and so what do? I curse her out because she's not paying attention. She flips me the bird out of anger, and I'm like, what? I had my signal on. So I didn't flip her off or anything, I was just like, whatever, I'm having a good time rolling through these gears and just. So she turns around, comes up behind me and is like, you don't have any brake lights. And I said, oh, really? They were working earlier. And she was right. So I apologized to her for not having the brake lights, and it turns out I was down 2 bulbs. So something you want to check, turn signals, lights. And a lot of you guys don't like to take these out at night because they get covered with bugs. But with an old car, you really need to check the headlights. Chances are, let's say it's 4 o'clock, sun sets at 6. You go for just what's supposed to be a 20, 30-minute cruise. Something happens. It puts you on the side of the road for X amount of time, and now you've got to drive back in the dark. So now not only do you have to fix whatever delayed your trip, now you got to figure out why your headlights aren't working. That's as simple as turning them on. I can see them shining up there. And I can see both of these are illuminated. We'll check the turn signals and the brakes and all that good stuff in just a minute. So let me go ahead and get this thing fired up. All right guys, let's fire this up. Check the lights. Once we get the lights checked, we'll come back up here and we will check that. The reason why I won't check the battery again is before we had a standing, I think it was 12.68 or 62. We want to check and make sure we got at least that going into it with it running, if not more. We should actually be in the 13. So let's get this thing fired up. I'm going to hit the pedal once because it's been, I think it's been a week. Let's see how she does. All right, guys, I got that set back to volts, 20. We're gonna set that right here so you guys can see it. Okay, you can see we're freaking healthy on this thing. We are at 14.95. That means our charging system is doing amazing. Probably a little more than amazing. Too amazing, honestly. It's like Superman, it's a lot. Right now, I am not running anything, so I'm sure once I run the heater, the lights, which is the blower motor, it's gonna come down a little bit, but again, it's still gonna be above that resting. You wanna have 12 volts to start it. If you check this and it's running, and it only shows what you had before, you have trouble. You're eventually probably going to wear your battery down because your charging system should be putting out more than you had initially, I would think. Maybe if your battery's superhuman or something, but guys, that's as simple as it is. I'm gonna shut this off and we'll kind of send you on your way. Guys, this little bit of time you spend now could save you a lot of time on the side of the road. And I don't know about you, a lot of the roads out here in Georgia are crap as far as having room to actually pull off and get a fix. And I really don't want someone coming up and smashing into the back of me. One, for my safety, and two, because I like the vehicles I buy. Spend a little time here, save you a lot of time later, trust me on that. I mean, if it means you don't get to drive your car today while you replace an alternator or look into your brake situation, you're going to be happy you did take a little time on this. So with that, hope you guys enjoy this. Once you get through this, go ahead, go enjoy your ride. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.